In this video, I'll share my 5 tips when starting your new online business. I'm not going to tell you what business to start, how to build a funnel, how to have a growth mindset, but to give you my best advice when you're thinking to start an online business. Hey friends, Grace here. If this is your first time on my channel, welcome. So this is a channel where I share digital growth tips and strategies for anyone like you who want to build a business online or want to learn more about digital growth marketing. My first advice is to pick a field that you have experience or at least you're familiar with. For most people, when they start a business and try to find a business idea, they usually will do marketing research, finding a profitable niche, doing competitive analysis, or simply starting something that they love. I'm not saying that this is not important, then all important, because you want to be in a business with good outlook, right? But what I've seen a lot of first-time business owners, and including myself in the past when I started my flower business, is that they pick a field that they actually don't have any experience in. And just only because they're interested in doing that, or they believe that it's a lucrative business idea that can make a huge money. The big risk here is most of the time, you as a business owner need to do all the shits. Unless you're an angel investor, you can invest and you're gonna appoint someone to manage the whole business. In most cases, you run in a DIY mode and you're wearing so many hats. And so if you don't familiar with the field that you're in, you'll probably end up going through lots of pains and unnecessary missteps. For example, if you're not a technical person, you don't write codes, but you choose to start an AI SaaS solution because you think that's the trend right now and it seems profitable, and you think you can hire a developer to do it, you're gonna have a high chance to fail because you don't familiar with the ecosystem and that it takes you lots more effort. And now you may ask, how about if that's the passion? We always hear that. Couldn't we just start a business idea we have passion in? Yes, passion is important because it's related to your why. But I want to emphasize that only having passion is simply not enough to sustain a business. In fact, passion can be very subjective and it's just like a feeling. And your passion in something can go up and down, and it will also change over time. But your experience, your skills, your knowledge won't. So you need to be knowledgeable at what you're selling and familiar with the industry that your business is in, because that will give you a unique advantage when starting out, and you know what are the common mistakes to avoid that will save you lots of time. In fact, this is also the book So Good That They Can't Ignore You, saying that passion can actually coming from your skills. You think you need to find a passion, but actually you should be good at something first, and then your passion will start to grow. So now ask yourself these questions. What are you good at? Just think thoroughly, because everyone, including you, has the skills that someone needs. And do you have interest in doing it, or do you hate doing it if that becomes your own business? My advice is you do not have to be super passionate about it, but you shouldn't hate it either. And if you already love doing it, that's really perfect. And the last one, do you see a market demand in it generally? Because at the end, you need to find your customers who want to buy it. And at this stage, you won't be really clear because your business is not yet well defined. However, you should have an initial idea about the answer if you're familiar with the field. My next advice, consider the cost of entry. So the cost of entry is the cost that you need in order to start and operate a new business. Every business is different, even for an online business, because there's still so many business models, the cost of entry is also different. For example, if you choose to launch an online shop, you need to source your products, finding suppliers, doing logistics and shipping, or even finding a warehouse, and they all add up to your cost of entry before you can operate your business. So whether it's selling a physical product, digital products, or selling a service, launching a marketplace, the cost of entries can be very different. My advice is consider a business model that works for your financial situations. It can be risky if you choose a field that requires a higher cost of entries than what you can really afford. And even so, you may need to get a third-party funding or finding an investor in order to start your business. Unless you're not a first-time business owner and have a lot of experience, I wouldn't recommend that. Now you may ask if you should just go for a business that have a really low cost of entry. I would say no either, because it means everyone can do it and the market will gonna be very competitive. And that's why you shouldn't use it as the only factor. Always tie back to my first advice. What are you good at that gives you the unique advantage? Are you familiar with the industry? Do you hate doing it, etc.? And this also listen to my next advice. Have a tight control on expense and keep it low. So what's the ultimate goal of doing a business? Is to make a profit. Because at the end, you need profit in order to grow your business further. And the simplest way to think about profit is to using the top line revenue minus your expense. While there are lots of ways to increase your revenue, keeping your expense low is the most direct and easiest way that you can control all the time. And this is particularly important when you're just starting out and when you haven't confirmed a product market fit, meaning there are not enough evidence that people are constantly wanting and willing to pay you for your service or products. Now keep in mind, I'm not saying that you shouldn't spend, because you should still invest if that's necessary, and at a certain point you should prepare to scale your business when you have determined that's a product market fit. However, a lot of business fail because they expand too quickly when they just see some traction of a business, and then they hire more people than they need or purchase software that they don't actually need. So expanding too soon, outsourcing too early where you cannot keep up on expense. And the biggest risk for this is that it can greatly impact your business cash flow, particularly when you're a small business owner. Because once you have more recurring expense and when your cash inflow is not steady, then you may have a risk of getting a negative cash flow. It not only happens to small business, in fact, big business, they also make similar mistakes. For example, during the pandemic, big brands overhire and expand too quickly because they think the new customer behavior will go permanent. So when the pandemic ends and everything backs to normal, they don't have a choice but to do massive layoff. So big business may able to survive from this quickly expansion, but it may not always be the case for a small business. So my tip here is review all your planned and existing recurring expense. Are they necessary? By necessary, I mean whether they are needed to help your business to generate more further growth than the cost, or just a nice to have expense to enhance their productivity, for example. So you want to estimate the ROI for each expense. And second, always plan for the worst case scenario when doing your business forecast, which means overestimate your expense and underestimate your revenue. You want to see the profit growth trend when all the conditions are not favorable for your business. If you want to learn more about this topic, I also highly recommend the book Profit First, written by Mike, and how you can apply this profit first strategy and have a smarter cash management when you're starting your business. My next advice, spend most of the time in executing, not strategy planning. I know lots of business owners, they want to make their strategy perfect before they launch the business. They will spend lots of time doing marketing research, launching focus group, interviewing target audience, making lots of slides for their strategy planning. I would say doing competitive analysis and other strategy planning is good and is necessary and helping you to set the right expectation, but you shouldn't spend too much time on it, but spend most of the time executing. By executing, I mean doing the tasks that actually move your business forward. And this is how you measure your business success. And I find this is particularly crucial for a new business where you don't have a formula to follow, because you don't have past data, you don't have a proven business model yet. So instead of spending time collecting lots of third-party data which may not be relevant to your business, try to collect the real data that is unique to your business by actually executing. For example, launching the first ad campaign, publish the first social post. You won't really know what the market wants until you launch it to the public. My advice is, if you're starting a new business, spend no more than 30% of your energy and time in crafting the perfect business strategy. You still need to do strategic planning, understanding your target customers, but you need to actually put your brand out there and see the reaction from the market. So once you have the real data, and then you know where to fine-tune your strategy, what is really working and what's not. So you will never set a strategy and it's all done. Your business strategies keep evolving along the way because market conditions can change, customer behavior can change. So don't think you need to be so perfect before you roll out the business. My next advice, define your basic business model framework. So assume you have an initial business idea, perhaps you're launching your e-commerce business, and now it's time to define your business model framework. Remember, I've told you, you don't need to be perfect for your strategy, but it's still important to define your basic business model structure. And I can't find a better way than using the business model canvas. If you haven't heard about it, it's a framework that gives you a comprehensive view on each strategic elements for your business. So it's a simple but effective tool to help you stay focused on a core strategy. Basically, you will need to define 9 strategic elements. Your target customers, who are your most profitable customers, where they need your product or service. Try to be more specific here. Value proposition. So what are the value your business offer? Try to think about the pain points that your business have to solve and the unique advantage you have compared with other market players. Channels. What are the key digital channels involved in order to operate your business online? Is it social media, organic SEO, PPC? And what are the key purpose for each channel? Customer relationships. So how your customer will keep engaging with your business once they acquire. Is it through regular email communications or exclusive events invites? Revenue model. So how your business is going to generate revenue. If you're a typical e-commerce store owner, then your revenue model may be a direct product sales model. And if you're a marketplace, your revenue stream may be coming from advertisers placing ads. So note that you can have multiple revenue models as long as it fits your business. Key resources. So how are the resources that are needed to operate your business? Perhaps it's the human capital like your own time commitment as the business owner, someone who will help you to build your e-store, a business license, etc. Key activities. So what are the day-to-day activities that are needed in order to keep the business operating? For example, it can be a website maintenance, finding suppliers, handling customer inquiries, doing social posts, or cold outreaching. Key partners. So who are the strategic partners that you work mainly when running your business? For example, it can be your software vendors, suppliers or manufacturers, shipping service provider, etc. Cost structure. So what are both the fixed and variable costs to operate your business as well as delivering to your customers? For example, it can be the software license costs, office rental, website hosting, paying accountants, etc. It also has a high implication of your cost of entry that I mentioned earlier. I've included that link in the description if you want to get the template to start building your own canvas. Again, do not spend too much time in crafting this. You will definitely fine-tune your business model canvas along the way and get more clarity as you launch your business. But it will help you to stay focused on the core and easily to identify if any part is not working. Starting an online business is not an easy task, and it takes lots of efforts and perseverance because it's a long-term journey. If you want to get more clarity on your digital growth strategies and where to start your online business, feel free to connect with me. You can find the link in the description. If you find this video useful, please also give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Thanks for watching. See you next time.